Over the last few months, I've had a lot more time shooting with the Ricoh GR3X, and since a lot of you have asked me about my usual go-to settings for street photography, I thought I'd share in today's video how I have mine set up. When a camera is designed as small as the GR, there isn't exactly a need for many accessories to improve the shooting experience. If anything, the overall simplicity of this camera and how compact it is its biggest strength. You know, adding more things to the camera and making the size of it bigger, I think it sort of defeats the purpose of the Ricoh GR, so I try to keep it as minimal as I can when it comes to additional accessories. To prevent dust from entering the camera, I always use this lens cap from JJC. This will always be on the camera if the camera isn't in my hands and is inside a pocket or a bag. If I'm doing more extended travel, I'll use the official Ricoh soft case. To add a bit more ergonomics to the one-handed operation of the camera, I've attached this hot shoe thumb grip, and this helps reduce the stress in my hands as well as make it a lot easier to handle the camera with one hand. And depending on if I have a bag with me or not, I'll carry this multi-battery charger as well as this Anker power bank. I've charged the Ricoh straight from the power bank before, and it's charged up the battery pretty quickly, but it's also nice to have the option to charge multiple batteries on the go as well. Now, by no means does this camera call for a camera bag, but a lot of the times I feel very naked when I walk out the door without some sort of bag, so usually I'll have a bag with me. The bag company Wotancraft sent me their 7-liter Pilot travel bag to test out, and I've been using that recently as my daily bag for street photography. And since I have a bag with me, I'd much rather store the Ricoh in the bag rather than in my pants pocket or a jacket pocket. There's just a lot more lint there, and that's just going to invite a lot more dust into the camera. So I've set my Ricoh GR3X to shoot in 2 distinct modes, P mode and a custom manual exposure mode using the user 1 setting. As you would assume, P mode is for auto exposure, and my custom manual mode is for shooting in manual exposure. They're right next to each other on the mode switch dial, so it's really easy to go back and forth between both of these modes. Now, these 2 modes share a lot of the same settings, but they differ specifically when it comes to the back function button. The back function button is probably my most used custom button on this camera, and it has 2 distinct uses depending on the exposure mode I am shooting in. In P mode, I've programmed the back function button to be my auto exposure lock. I also pair this with keep auto exposure lock enabled, which will turn this button into a toggle on or off switch. That way I don't need to keep my finger pressed down on the function button to enable auto exposure lock. Since shooting in P mode is basically a fully auto mode, I still want to have some control over when my camera is using auto exposure, so having auto exposure lock lets me control when that's happening. This essentially gives me semi-manual control over auto exposure. In my custom manual mode, I've set the back button function to instant auto exposure. So whenever I hit the back function button when in my custom manual exposure mode, the camera will instantly use auto exposure. I've paired this with instant auto exposure set to aperture priority. That way my aperture always will stay the same. Now, having the back function button programmed this way in this mode basically gives me the convenience of auto exposure when shooting in manual mode. Now, this is a pretty simple camera, so there aren't a lot of other custom buttons to go through, but for the ones that do remain, I have them both set the same for my P mode and the custom manual mode. The video button on the side of the camera is usually set to my photometry mode switch. I have the ISO button set to ISO, and I've disabled the drive button. Since I typically always shoot in continuous drive mode anyway, I really have no need for this button, and there's nothing else I would need to program it to, so I'd much rather have one less button that I'm likely to accidentally hit. And for that same reason, I've also disabled the touch autofocus ability of the back LCD screen. Now, most of my other digital cameras use back button focusing, but with the GR, I find it makes a lot more sense to use the shutter button for autofocus. Because of the one-handed operation of this camera, I just find it makes much more sense to use it this way. It's hard enough for me to accurately hit the buttons holding this camera one-handed, and if I have to continuously hit the back function button to focus with my thumb, it's a bit taxing on my thumb and my hand muscles, so it's a lot more comfortable for me to use my index finger to focus. Plus, with it set up this way, I get twice the functionality out of the function button with the two modes that I shoot in. As for the autofocus point, I've set it to select AF and just keep it dead center all of the time. It's a lot more easier for me to point, focus, and then recompose while holding my finger down on the shutter button. Rather than manually selecting the focus point or even shooting in continuous autofocus, where a lot of the times the camera isn't focusing on what I want it to. As for snap focus, I'm still trying to figure out what works best for my style of shooting, as well as what works best for the 40mm focal length. With one of the latest firmware updates, the GR3 and GR3X got a 3.5 meter snap focus distance, so I've been experiencing with that lately, but before then I was mostly using it at 2 meters. So that's about 7 feet, so I'd look at it as anything that's a little bit more than a person in length away from me. Anything in that range is going to be in focus when I use snap focus at 2 meters. And since I'm usually shooting in higher apertures anyway, I do have a little bit more wiggle room in terms of my focus range. So when it comes to exposure settings, this obviously brings us back to those two modes that I shoot in, the P mode and the custom manual mode. Now 80% of the time I like to shoot in P mode. I just find it a lot more convenient to how I want to shoot with this camera. Sort of no fuss, just point and shoot, and not really have to worry about settings. I think that shooting experience really fits this camera. And if I need to adjust manually for exposure, I'll just use the exposure compensation dial. And as I talked about earlier, I'll use the back function button to lock exposure as I see fit. So this setup usually gets the job done most of the time, but for the times that I do want to have, more creative control, or if I'm shooting in, particular light situations where it's, the camera's having difficulty auto exposing, I'll switch to that custom manual setting that I have. I'll use the back function button set to instant auto exposure, so if I do need auto exposure in a pinch, I can just hit that button. So I hope this video helps any of you looking to set up your Ricoh GR3X, or for any of you who are just interested in seeing how I have mine set up. If there's anything I didn't mention in this video that you're curious about, definitely leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Lastly, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I've been using them for the last 5 years, and ever since I've started a YouTube channel, my Squarespace site has become a pivotal part of my photography business. It's where I sell my presets, show some of my favorite recent work, and also lately where I've been releasing written versions of some of my videos in the form of a blog. Regardless if you're a beginner or not, Squarespace makes it really easy to set up a professional looking website using their wide range of different templates. Something I've set up for when I shoot on the streets is this bookmarked page on my website that has a QR code. If anyone approaches me and asks what I'm doing, this QR code brings them straight to my portfolio with some of my images. I just find that a professional looking website portfolio like this is a lot more effective when showing your work to a stranger versus something like an Instagram page. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, you can visit squarespace.com/Faisal and get 10% off your purchase.